When we created LCC Connect in 2022, it was our intention to create a podcast platform that connects our college with the community and our community with the college. Since that time, LCC Connect has grown to include over 20 podcasts focused on a wide range of topics. All of these podcasts are either funded by members of Lansing Community College or activists within the Mid-Michigan community. Now it is time to go behind the scenes with a brand new show we call Behind the Connection. And today, Behind the Connection, we welcome our newest member of the team to LCC Connect, Jim Owens. Jim is a member of the counseling staff here at Lansing Community College. And Saturday, October 21st, that's going to mark the premiere of his new podcast and radio program, and it is called HeadRoom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we all need a little more room in our heads.
We do. Although lately I have been looking at my head thinking it's huge. I don't know why.
Oh, interesting.
I think it's because I cut my hair.
You have a different haircut today.
Yeah,
than
I cut
year.
my hair, so it makes my head look bigger. Mm-hmm. Anyway, welcome to the show, Jim.
Thank you.
So glad you could be here, and I am so glad you could be a part of the team. I was very excited about this program, which we'll get into in a little bit. First, let's give some details, some insight as to who Jim Owens is. And you know, the one thing is I always, when I first got to know you, I kept wanting to call you Tim Owens. You know why that? You know why?
No, why?
That is the dude that was in Judas Priest. He is Tim Ripper Owens. Yeah, was the temporary singer of Judas Priest. So that's what I think of every time
that's
I
a compliment.
saw you. Yeah.
I'm going to take that as a compliment.
Anyway, let's get the details.
Yeah.
So what brought you to LCC? Why are you here? What do you do here at the college?
I came to the school a long time ago, 30 years. I celebrated my 30th anniversary as an employee of the college this summer. And I came here.
You're definitely. I've been here since '99, so you're always one of those people that has been here longer than me. And every time I see you, then I go, that dude's been here longer than me.
He's even longer. Yeah, he's old. So I came to school here. I graduated high school in West Michigan, but I came to school here to go to college for free because my mom worked here, so we got that free tuition.
Take the free when you can get it.
I took the free. All my friends were going off to university. I said, I got a free college waiting for me in the middle of the state.
Yep, I would have done the same.
So I came here. My dad was a builder, so I was going to go into the kind of the trades, but I was going to study architecture. I liked house building and house design, but I didn't want to like swing a hammer all day. Yeah, I kind of like drawing. Kind of like drawing a little bit more. And the weather, you had to I helped him frame houses in December, January, February.
Oh, see, I get envious sometimes of the construction guys as I'm driving by at certain points in the summer, fall. Yeah, but once you get to winter, you're like, oh man, I'm sorry, guys.
It can be fun and rewarding, obviously, but it was not for me. So I came to school here to study architecture.
But we appreciate what they do for sure.
No, we love it. We need them to do what they do. But when I came to school here, I got a job right away as a student employee, and I got hired onto the orientation staff. And the way they did orientation at LCC back then was they hired about 20 students to do peer advising, to give tours to other new students on campus and to help those students learn about the services on campus and help them set up their fall schedule. We did not have academic advisors back then. We had counselors who did vocational, career, and academic counseling and some personal counseling. And our boss was one of the licensed professional counselors. And I figured out, even though I was studying architecture for 1, 2, 3, 4 semesters, in that time working as a peer advisor, I was having a lot of one-on-one conversations with students about what they wanted to do with their lives, what classes they wanted to take, what major, why, what they wanted to do with their life, as I said.
You're trying to figure your own stuff out.
And I was like, this one-on-one conversations about the meaning of life and what you want to do with it, and these people's backgrounds and telling me why they're inspired to do the things they want to do.
Right.
I was like, I want to do more of this. And my boss was a counselor, and I worked with all these counselors, and I was like, their job is cool. These are great people. I think I want to do this. So I changed my major, like almost everybody does at some point.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Uh-huh. I mean, I'm not going to get into my story, but go on.
And some of us go back around to where we started, but I turned left, went into psychology counseling, and then I continued to work at LCC all while I finished my different degrees. I was sometimes an academic advisor, sometimes an admissions counselor, sometimes a financial aid advisor. But most recently, I've become one of the mental health counselors at the school, and that's the team I work on now.
Okay. All right. And some of what we're talking about right now, you actually cover on your podcast with your guests.
True.
We'll dive into that a little bit. But first, it's cool that you were actually able to figure out what you wanted to be when you grow up before you completely grew up.
Totally.
So tell me, what's the most rewarding part of your job? What do you look forward to?
Well, there's probably two things there. One, I've worked at LCC for 30 years on purpose because, like you, I'm qualified to work in other places. But I love the mission of the school. I love that we are on the ground floor where anybody can come here and start getting an education in a field, a discipline, a vocation, something. Mm-hmm. I love that. We're totally accessible. I love that mission of the college. So every time I step foot on campus every morning, when I'm walking to my desk, I'm thinking, this is where I want to work. I want to work. Yeah. And I call it the ground level because I'm kind of, giving an elbow or a snub to the higher universities that we call them. And those aren't accessible to everyone. So I love the fact that we are. And then I love the fact that I can't believe this happened, that my life turned out the way I wanted it to. I get to be a mental health counselor here. Yeah. Like I get to help students who are working really hard on something that's extremely difficult. It's not easy to go to college. It's not easy to persist in college. And while they're doing that, stuff happens to them in their emotional life, their personal life, their social life, whatever. And I don't want to see that interrupt their progress. So the fact that I get to be here to help them maintain or get through something really difficult or resolve something that's been sitting on the back burner, that college is a pressure cooker. And it raises the temperature on that stuff that they kind of had buried for a while. And we just deal with it and they can move on then. They're free. Like my whole job is to free people from their mental and emotional distress. Yeah. As best I can.
And I can tell you that my time when I was in a university at Michigan State, I could have highly utilized a resource like that. And it's great that we have that here at Lansing Community College. And in addition to that, I will also tell and share with listeners that I actually took a little bit of a mental health break myself earlier this summer. Yeah. And it was one of those things where prior to even leaving, I remember mentioning to Lane, he helps me a lot with what we do here at LCC Connect. I remember mentioning to him one time that I really wanted a mental health show because I feel like that is become more and more, I don't want to say important, but it's just become more, there's more awareness about it now. Mm-hmm. And I think without the awareness that we have here at the college, I wouldn't have felt comfortable doing what I did.
Oh, that's good.
And it's awesome that I felt comfortable enough to say, hey, I need to stop for a little bit. Yeah. But anyway, I got back and there in my inbox that had been probably waiting for the entire time that I was on this break was an email from Jim stating, hey, dude, and I'm paraphrasing here. Hey, dude, I'm interested in starting a podcast revolving or connected to mental health. Yeah. And thus I was like,
that's what you want to do.
That's what I wanted.
That's what you wanted.
So I invited you over. You came over. We talked a little bit about it. So now share with listeners what they can expect from HeadRoom.
So HeadRoom is it's a time for me to sit down with a colleague, somebody who works either in higher ed or in the mental health field, and the two of us have a conversation about what do we need to know about taking care of our mental health. Mm-hmm. I could have come on the podcast and just given a lot of information, kind of like a professor. I could have given lectures and stuff, but I really wanted students and the rest of the community to hear the stories of other people and what they have learned about mental health, because we can all learn more about it. And I also get my guests to kind of share some of the struggles that they've gone through in life and how they got through them, because I want to instill hope. I want to encourage people that we're all going to face mental health challenges in our lives. And the people sitting across from me in the studio, they figured out how to get through it. And you're going to hear that week after week after week after week. And I hope that says something.
All right. Yeah. And I'm just so glad you got on board to do this. And I think this is going to be a valuable conversation, not only for our students, but I think for people outside of the college as well. So now, do you share my belief regarding the mental health awareness? Like, do you feel like there's something that's changed where it seems like there's more thought about it?
Yeah, I think it's becoming more obvious. It's kind of like the climate. It's becoming more obvious that this is a thing we kind of are going to have to deal with. And I agree. I think that there's more awareness around mental health. There's more freedom to talk about it in the public square. There's more publicity. More public figures are talking about it. Celebrities are talking about it. People are not ashamed to come on and talk about it publicly as much as they once were. So I think it's definitely changing now. I'm not happy with where it's at yet for two reasons. One, I don't think it's normalized enough. And two, there's not enough therapists to meet the need.
That's what I'm finding.
I have people call me, at least not at the school. We have availability at the school, but we're pretty full, but we've got some availability. In the public arena, it can be a 3 to 6 month wait.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I found a therapist fairly quick. It was probably after about 2 or 3 weeks. Still, though,
great.
It still took me a little bit.
Good, yeah.
And that was me getting right on it.
Yeah,
as soon as I hit that break.
Yeah.
So I'm going to extend on that a little bit in the fact that I was curious to know what your thoughts are since 2020. Do you think the awareness has gone up even more? Do you think the need for it is greater? What's your thoughts there?
Ooh, I could cite the CDC statistics from memory for you. Okay, so what happened in 2020 is 18 to 24-year-olds, roughly about 40% of them struggled with a mental health issue, major mental health issue, starting at that point, and it seems to have persisted. In essence, their mental health struggle doubled in number of people affected. And it's all across the board. The number 2 most prescribed class of drugs in the United States are antidepressants and anti-anxiety meds. So the pharmacies, all day, number 1 drug going across the counter is lipid regulators, cholesterol meds. The number 2 drug going across the counter every day is anti-anxiety or antidepressant. It's a massive issue that I think we just can't pretend isn't a massive issue anymore.
No.
A lot of us are struggling. It is primarily anxiety, depression, and the different flavors, if you will, of those 2 things. That's largely what we're seeing. And I will say one other thing. In the United States, the number 1 mental illness in the world is depression. But in the United States, it's anxiety by 2.5 times percent or 250% that you would see the rest of the world over.
Really?
So this is a very anxious culture, a very anxious society.
Do you have any speculation?
Part of it, I think, is rooted in our rugged individualism in the U.S. Like, don't show any weakness. Keep working. Strive forward. It's you. Plow ahead.
Right.
I think there's some of that. It's a kind of a pressure cooker to succeed in this culture on your own, I think, is probably as much as I could say about it right now.
And tell me, what kind of impact? I mean, you kind of brushed on it a little bit here and there.
Yeah.
What impact are you hoping this show will have?
Well, number 1, to normalize. I mean, I just want, my biggest mission at the school with this podcast is to educate, but also to normalize, to make it a normal conversation to talk about emotional and mental health. That people we ask each other about the sports. We ask each other about what our kids are doing. We talk about the weather, which is a fun thing to talk about in Michigan because you never know what you're going to get. But I think mental health and emotional health should be one of those things that we just naturally talk about because it's so germane to what it means to be a human being. We're all having an emotional experience all the time. We're never fine.
No.
When people, how are you doing today, Dedalian?
Well, and that's the reaction too. A lot of times we give, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm great. I'm good. Yeah. It's all good. And it's funny because we actually just did a recording with you and somebody else yesterday. You guys came in and you guys could tell I wasn't in a great mood.
Yeah, we could tell.
But it was one of those things. It's one of those things you do. And I will also tell you that, myself as a pretty even keel person, it's hard to recognize that in yourself sometimes.
Yeah. I think that's fair.
I think we've kind of hit on it a little bit, but if you want to elaborate on what you think is important about this show for our community, not just the students, but the community in general.
Well, we all get health classes in school, don't we, about physical health and exercise, and we all probably know we're supposed to get our 30 minutes of walking every day and all these things, but I don't know how much skill people have really around what they're supposed to do, the basics, the fundamentals, the essentials for mental health. And there are some.
Yeah.
This is a thing we've been studying for pretty seriously for 100 years in the world of psychology. And we know there are some fundamental things that you just have to do to take care of yourself emotionally and mentally. First of which is to be emotionally expressive. Like when we caught you yesterday and we're like, you're having a feeling, go ahead and label it and speak it. It'll feel better when you do that.
And it does. That is the thing. And that was the thing is you didn't really drag it out of me.
No.
but I did. I elaborated a little bit, and actually I did. I felt better after acknowledging to myself, not only you guys, but to myself that I was not in the greatest of moods.
Yeah.
All right. HeadRoom is the name of the show. It is going to be premiering on the 21st of October, so next Saturday, here on LCC Connect, 89.7 FM, if you listen on the radio. And, of course, I keep saying listeners, but this is being videotaped as well. Yeah. So there is the vodcast version.
Oh.
I don't know if our video engineer has the screen up, but if he wants to pull it on up, he can. I've got this is what I'm hoping to do, like with all the behind the connections. We got the random question generator up. I'm going to have you grab the.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to be asked here, and neither does Jim. But this is from our good friends at the, I think, Washington State University is what this is. Yeah, give it a click. What story does your family always tell about you?
Oh man, that's the
nice random question
like
of the
it.
day.
I was going to say the way they describe every story they tell me about me is that I'm dramatic.
Dramatic?
Yeah, they say I should have gone into the theater. I can't stand, honestly, I know I'm going to lose some fans here. I don't like musical theater at all. I don't like when things are overly dramatized and stuff, but whatever it is that my family talks about me, they're like, you're always so dramatic. And I'm like, I don't see that about myself. Isn't that interesting? I don't see that about myself, but they do, so it's hard to deny, but I guess they would say I'm very dramatic.
I would say, I don't know. Maybe we haven't had enough of these conversations, but from what I know, you seem pretty chilled like me most of the time. But now I'm going to be looking for the drama.
Well, I am an enthusiastic, expressive. It's hard for me to sit still and talk here like this, but I do, if you saw me at home telling a story, I use all the space.
Fair enough.
So maybe that's what looks dramatic, like I'm on stage. I don't know.
All right. His name is Jim Drama Owens.
Yep.
He's got a new show coming up October 21st here on LCC Connect. It's called HeadRoom. Thanks so much for coming in, talking with me here on Behind the Connection.
Thank you.
Like the spontaneity is going to be gone now.
No. We'll do it again. It'll be fun. Listen, I'm a studio musician. I know it's take two.
Right. Take two.
Yep.
This is LCC Connect.
Voices.
Vibes.
Vision.